Mrs. Lee is in fact stricter than Mr. Lee. If she is making any application to the government for the client, she will not use her initials on the letterhead because she doesn't want the government servants to see that this is a letter from her. She doesn't want to even give the civil servants a chance to play favoritism.
So if she takes favors, get business from people and do them favors, it will affect me. So she was very careful.
Because even without doing bad things, people say bad things about you. So we have to be careful.
For all Lee's qualities, some still find his views on issues such as equality somewhat controversial.
The human being is an unequal creature. This is a fact.
But Lee never had trouble justifying these views.
If I tell Singaporeans, we are all equal, regardless of race, language, religion, culture, then they will say, look, I'm doing poorly. You are responsible. But I can show that from British times, certain groups have always done poorly in mathematics and in science. I am not God. I can't change you. But I can encourage you, give you extra teaching help to make you do, say, maybe 20% better. So as a result, there is a certain realistic assessment of their capabilities and their possible achievements.
And for anyone who thinks that life in Singapore is too controlled, he had this to say.
I say without the slightest remorse that we wouldn't be here, we would not have made the economic progress if we had not intervened on very personal matters. Who your neighbor is, how you live, the noise you make, how you spit or where you spit, or what language you use. Had we not done that and done it effectively, we would not be here today.
它一方面是用法来使得这个社会能够守法，同时呢，也教育一般的这些新加坡的市民，叫他们重视如何的做诚实的事情，如何的不要欺骗人，如何在伦理道德方面好像也相当的重视。
It is this strict ethos that has helped this tiny nation achieve one of the highest per capita incomes in the world. But Singapore's affluence and its reputation for a clean government may not have been possible without the sterling example set by its prime architect, Lee Kuan Yew. When Lee Kuan Yew resigned in 1990, he'd already made history as the world's longest-serving prime minister. He'd stay on in the cabinet as senior minister and then minister mentor. His achievements over a 5-decade-long career in politics has earned him international recognition. His ideas and ideologies have been praised, even adopted by leaders all over the world. US President Barack Obama called him a legendary leader who helped trigger the Asian economic miracle. And in 2010, he was featured on Time magazine's list of the 100 people who have most affected our world. In 2004, his son Lee Hsien Loong became Singapore's prime minister, steering the country into the 21st century. Singapore's miracle growth has continued, taking advantage of its strategic position on global trade routes. And this has made up for the shortcomings in its natural resources, one of the concerns which had caused Lee to look for a partnership with Malaysia so many years earlier. Over the years, the combination of visionary leadership and an industrious population have become unbeatable. Through all this, and despite his commitment to the country, Lee always found time to keep an eye on his own health too.
先生是不是每天都游泳？
每天都游泳，
没有停过吧？
有时没有办法了。如果太忙的时候，
怪不得你的身体那么好。
一定要有运动才可以。
有没有特别的养生之道？
不要吃太多，够睡觉，够运动。工作也需要有兴趣。
His obsession with cleanliness and health was always a key part of Lee's domestic policies. Policies which helped him and his government transform Singapore from a rural, developing country into the garden city-state known across the world today. In October 2010, after years of ill health, Lee's wife, Geok Choo, died in her sleep. She had been a pillar of support, a soulmate, and probably the only one suited to Lee.
He chose Geok Choo, who became his wife, because she was of sufficient intellect to be a suitable partner for him.
And it's true that he doesn't suffer fools gladly. He cannot talk to people who are, or so to speak, not up to his level.
Lee learned lessons along the way. Maybe the most significant was early in life through his experiences with the Japanese during World War II.
日本人教育我，权力是什么意义的？政权可以改变人民的思想、社会的行为。
Lee's long, successful career is, however, not without regret. The one thing that haunts him to this day is Singapore's expulsion from the Federation of Malaysia.
不得已离开，很痛苦，辜负了很多人，号召他们，动员他们，他们相信我们的话，然后放下他们，不得已做的。
Over the last decade, Singapore has ridden the global economic storm. As many countries struggled to survive, some even collapsing, Singapore actually prospered. The solid foundations that Lee Kuan Yew spent a lifetime building were finally in place. Now it was time for creativity to take over. International sports events, music concerts, and high-end retailers chose Singapore as their base. It has now become one of the shopping, food, and entertainment capitals of Asia. In 2008, Singapore signed a contract with Sands Casino, and the iconic Marina Bay Sands soared above the skyline. With a new business district in development, Singapore continues to grow as one of the world's most important financial centers. What would Sir Stamford Raffles make of what was once his sleepy outpost? In 2011, Lee Kuan Yew finally took a step back from politics, but his place in the history books is secure. Had it not been for him, Singapore would most certainly not be the country it is today. But as his words of determination echo through the streets he helped build, it's hard to think now how it could have been any other way.
Even from my sick bed, even if you are going to lower me into the grave and I feel that something is going wrong, I'll get up.